This is Housing Development, a program that advocates for the provision of low-cost housing for Nigerians. As always, I am your housing diva, Fleur Ani. Nigeria witnessed a total of 553 building collapses between 1974 and ending of April 13, 2023, according to the latest report by the Building Collapse Prevention Guild. The report indicated that Lagos State had recorded a high collapse with over 326 buildings caving in the last 49 years. What are the causes of building collapse? How do we stem this tide? What are regulatory agencies as well as professional bodies doing to curb the incessant cases of building collapse? Stay with Housing Development as we give answers to these and more in the course of the program. The news making rounds in the housing sector is up next.
The United Kingdom's Department of Trade and Investment (UKDTI) has announced its participation in the upcoming Africa International Housing Show (AIHS) in Nigeria. There are high hopes that the department's involvement will foster partnerships between Nigeria and UK businesses, boosting investment. The housing show is scheduled to take place from July 22nd to 27th, 2024 at the National Stadium in Abuja. UKDTI officials shared their plans to attend the annual event during a conversation with Festus Adebayo, the coordinator of the housing show, noting that a 20-member delegation would be present. In commemoration of World Youth Skills Day, celebrated annually on July 15th, President of the Sector Skills Council for Building in Nigeria, SSCBIN, Builder Samson Ame Opaloa, has called on the government to collaborate on the recognition of prior learning RPL initiative. During his speech in Abuja, Opaloa discussed the theme of this year, Youth Skills for Peace and Sustainable Development.
I'm honored to address you today in celebration of the World Youth Skills Day as President of the Sector Skills Council in Nigeria, in recognition of the importance of skills development and vocational training for our youth. In proclaiming the theme for this year's celebration, which is Youth Skills for Peace and Sustainable Development, the Secretary General of the United Nations emphasized that the future of humanity and our planet depends on young people. But it also depends on ensuring that they have the skills to tackle today's challenges and shape a more peaceful tomorrow.
Experience Housing and Construction Development at its peak as Africa's largest housing and construction exhibition and conference, the Africa International Housing Show, moves its venue to the stunning National Stadium in Abuja, Nigeria, a bigger venue than the International Conference Center (ICC), to expand opportunities for exhibitors and attendees. The Africa International Housing Show is boldly advancing innovation by extending to a 6-day event from July 20th to July 27th, 2024, accommodating more exhibitors to showcase groundbreaking products and ideas. This year, the end of conference dinner and awards night will be held at the prestigious Transcorp Hilton in Abuja.
For more housing news update, visit www.africanhousingnews.com. Recent in the league of collapsed buildings in the country is a school 2-story structure in the Busa Buji North local government area of Plateau State. our heart goes out to the affected families that lost their loved ones. As if that was not enough, another two-story building also caved in Abuja at Phase 2 Kubwa, also in Osun State. How do we as a people tackle the menace of incessant building collapse? Let's take a listen to this.
When a building is properly constructed, it is expected to be in use for a very long time. However, every society has its own problems, and Nigeria is not an exception. Yet, the very recent challenges of building collapsing in various locations has been given the various arms of government and the people of Nigeria sleepless nights in view of the enormous loss of huge investments in housing, properties, and human life. According to the Dictionary of Architecture and Construction, collapse refers to the mechanical failure. It is a state of complete failure when the structure has literally given way and most members have caved in, crumbled, or buckled. The building can no longer stand as originally built. It is a total or partial progress failure of one or more components of a building, leading to the inability of the building to perform its principal function of comfort, satisfaction, safety, and stability. The incidence of building collapse in Nigeria is reaching an epidemic proportion. The spat of building collapse and failure has become an endemic problem that has defied all attempts at providing solutions in the recent past. These incidences have resulted in the loss of lives and property, which have also infringed permanent disabilities to many. What could possibly be the cause? Situations such as wrong interpretation of building design, inadequate supervision, non-adherence to the due process in building construction, lack of maintenance culture, the use of plans approved for one-story building for multiple-story buildings, deficient structural alterations of approved drawings, absence of proper supervision, building without approved building drawings, approval of technically deficient drawings, illegal alterations of existing buildings, absence of town planning inspection or monitoring of sites, client pensions to cut corners, use of substandard material, inefficient workmanship, hasty construction, foundation failure, lack of proper supervision, ineffective enforcement of building codes by the relevant town planning authority, lack of proper maintenance, and the nature of the soil are the major causes of building failure that have been identified by some researchers. To minimize the incidence of building collapse in Nigeria, there should be a check for policymakers to make sure that specifications are thoroughly followed by contractors. All professional bodies associated with the building industry in Nigeria, such as the Council for Registration of Engineers, Nigerian Society Engineers, Nigerian Institute of Builders, Town Planning Registration Council, Nigerian Institute of Town Planners, Nigerian Institute of Architects, and the Architect Registration Council of Nigeria, among others, should be encouraged to work on more research about the cause of building failure and research standardization of construction methodologies, including finding a way of stopping quarks in their operations in building industries. There should be a synergy among the professional bodies in the building industries, with the aim of jointly working together to achieve a common goal. The public must be willing to alert the government of buildings that are suspected to be a risk to the lives of the people within the community.
My name is Abdul Malik Mahdi, Managing Director of Modern Shelter Systems and Services Limited. We are proud supporters and sponsors of the Africa International Housing Show, the 18th edition, which is coming up on July 22nd in Abuja. We shall be there and we expect to see you there. You don't want to miss this once-in-a-lifetime event, which is the best in the industry. See you.
There are many laws and regulations guiding construction and building of properties in the country, but those laws to some extent are not enforced. People do not obey laws, they just do whatever they want to do. The relevant government agencies should enforce these laws and regulations in the building industry to minimize the incident cases of building collapse. Let's take a listen to these housing industry stakeholders.
It's expected that whoever has the responsibility to develop his property would have used the right thing, right set of people, right material, in the right quantity and the right quality, and then do the right thing even for his own sake, if he has the respect for himself. But then, we're a country of everything, anything goes. Because so much indiscipline all over the place.
Every structure that is going to be erected must have approved building plans from the municipal authority, and then while the erection is going on, there needs to be sporadic checks to ensure that it is properly laid out and that some of the recommendations, at least for supervision, to make sure that the material is appropriately applied and that even the arrangements of bars and concreting are properly done, that there is a supervision for such.
It has to do with the character of the people, the quality of the individual who has the responsibility of doing the right thing. Even when he has the certificates, even when he has the knowledge, does he have the strength of character to say, no, this cannot go?
The engineer should be identified, if there is one. First of all, I think the owner of the building should be arrested and prosecuted. There has been loss of life, there has been injury. So I believe that he can be charged for manslaughter to deter, as a deterrent for future reoccurrence of the same thing.
Hello there, I'm Olayinka Brimo, founder CEO at Hall 7 Real Estate Limited. We will be live at the Africa International Housing Show, holding from the 22nd to 27th of July 2024 at the Velodrome of the National Stadium. See you there.
Welcome back. You're watching Housing Development. Has anyone ever gone to jail for his or her involvement in a collapsed building? Some stakeholders say the remedy to collapsed building is the enactment of enabling law to back up building code, which has been at the National Assembly since 2008. It would have been a great punitive measure for those that get involved in collapsed buildings. We are standing by to get the reaction of the Chairman Council of Registered Builders of Nigeria, Carbon, Builder Samson Ame or Paulua. This is Housing Development, the only TV program that gives you the best information.
Welcome to this segment of the program, everyone. The last few days I've seen Nigerians talking about concerns around building collapse. This week, my guest will give you so much of insight and lots more into that conversation. Stay with us. I'm joined by a very distinguished Nigerian, someone who has left a mark in the built environment and continues to add value. In that regard, I'm delighted to be joined by Builder Samson Ame Opalua. He is the Chairman Council of Registered Builders of Nigeria, Carbon. It's a delight to have you on the program, sir.
Thank you very much.
Great. I'm just going to start out with what many Nigerians have been talking about. The reason we continue to have these, for want of better words, back-to-back incidents of building collapse.
This, in my mind, are avoidable situations. The incidence of building collapse is too frequent in our country. And there are so many actors that play on a building construction site. And we need to examine the role of each actor. But what I must say as a summary is that
Most times when buildings collapse in our country, it is because the relevant actors have not played their roles properly and efficiently.
What is the position of Carbon and other professional bodies in this regard?
As members of the Council of Registered Builders of Nigeria, and which I chair, to give the minister a thumbs up, this is what we have been asking for, that there must be decisive action when things go wrong in our society. However, we wish to caution that prosecuting them should be based on investigation and facts, such that we don't catch somebody by the shoulder and he's let off easily. So let us investigate. Let everybody, every actor that participated in what has led to this terrible collapse, their involvement and their activities be properly spelled out, and the areas and the laws which they contravene be identified, and then the prosecution will fire on.
Welcome back. The program is Housing Development. The Association of National Accountants of Nigeria recently conferred a fellowship award to the Managing Director of the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria. Let's have a look.
In a momentous ceremony, the Association of National Accountants of Nigeria, ANAN, conferred the prestigious fellowship award upon the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, Shehu Osidi. The event, which took place at the bank's headquarters, was attended by ANAN's top executives and top managers of the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, celebrating Osidi's significant contributions to financial stewardship and strategic leadership in Nigeria's banking sector. During his acceptance speech, Osidi expressed deep gratitude for the fellowship, emphasizing that it reflects FMBN's pivotal role in supporting their team's aspirations.
It is with profound gratitude and humility that I stand before you today to accept this esteemed fellowship conferred on me by the Association of National Accountants of Nigeria, ANAN. This recognition is not just a personal honor, but a testament to the place of the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria as a pillar of support and a good place to fulfill the aspirations and dreams of employees who stand firmly in support of its vision and mission. Mr. President, I want to extend my deepest appreciation to the leadership and members of the association for deeming me worthy of this fellowship.
He emphasized FMBN's values of integrity, accountability, and excellence, reaffirming their commitment to financial stability and affordable housing in Nigeria. Osidi credited the fellowship of FMBN's recent achievements under current leadership, highlighting notable reductions in expenditure and steady revenue growth since mid-February.
The Association of National Accountants of Nigeria has long been a pillar of excellence and professionalism in the field of accounting, and to be acknowledged by such a distinguished body is truly a privilege. I must also point out that this honor reflects the values we uphold at FMBN: integrity, accountability, and a relentless pursuit of excellence. It is a reminder of the importance of work in promoting financial stability and transparency in the housing sector, ensuring that every Nigerian has access to affordable housing.
The president of the Association of National Accountants of Nigeria, ANAN, Dr. James E. Neminebo, spoke on the achievements of the association thus far.
You see, when you have an institution and the institution recognizes you as a member, and you too recognizes the institution as one of them, it beholds so many trusts. ANAN has so many things in this country.
Concluding his acceptance speech, Osidi expressed gratitude to his colleagues at FMBN, attributing the institution's recent successes to their dedication and resilience in restructuring operations. Addressing young professionals, he urged them to uphold integrity and pursue excellence, emphasizing their pivotal role in shaping the future of the profession.
This assessment is not coming from us, but from our regulatory stakeholders. We are having a remarkable reduction in our expenditure profile, while our revenue and income have been growing steadily. We are recalibrating how we conduct ourselves across all facets of our business. Accordingly, I would like to take this opportunity to express my heartfelt gratitude to my colleagues at the FMBN, whose dedication and hard work have been instrumental to the achievements we are witnessing in re-engineering our business dealings. These include members of the executive management staff, and all other categories of staff. This fellowship is as much theirs as it is mine. I am fortunate to lead such a committed team, and together we will continue to strive for greater heights.
The conferment of the fellowship upon Shehu Osidi marks a significant milestone in the recognition of leadership excellence within Nigeria's financial sector. As FMBN continues its trajectory of growth under Osidi's stewardship, the institution remains dedicated to upholding the highest standards of service and accountability in fostering economic development and housing accessibility across Nigeria.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, AIHS 2024 in July is the best place to be. Don't miss out. You must be there. Don't wait for the story to be told. You must experience it live at the National Stadium, Abuja. My name is Town Planner Nathaniel Atebije, the National President of the Nigerian Institute of Town Planners.
It is countdown to the largest housing and construction event in Africa, the 18th Africa International Housing Show. 5 days to go. Are you ready? The 18th Africa International Housing Show is set to hold for 6 days. Enjoy a peep into expected highlights of the event. The housing sector plays a more critical role in a country's welfare than is being recognized, as it directly affects not only the well-being of the citizenry, but also the performance of other sectors of the economy. Rather than climbing the housing ladder, too many Nigerians are just falling off the cliff as home ownership rates are low. The focus on affordable housing by Nigerian government as well as private players needs to increase as population growth and urbanization does not seem to be slowing down. Access to more affordable loans for all Nigerians as well as the lower cost of construction would enable more Nigerians own homes, which would improve their quality of life. Thanks for keeping a date with me. Let's do this again next week. To watch this episode again or previous ones of Housing Development, visit the YouTube channel Housing TV Africa. Do well to subscribe. I remain Flora Ani, your Housing Diva. See you soon.
Housing TV Africa, your first in housing news.